Hey y'all, I'm Kamana.
And I'm Aiza.
We're Burundian Canadian.
Our melanin is poppin', and you guessed it,
we're sisters. We're all about that elevation and keeping it real.
That's right. We're here to claim our space, and we've brought a whole team of other dope black folk.
You're right on time for Real Blackity Talk.
Think about this for a second. From the time you were born through every single moment of your life,
you were there.
The relationship you have with yourself is the most intimate and long-lasting one you will share with anybody on earth and beyond.
Whether you like it or not.
Self-love is lit. Consider this your very own self-love toolkit.
Brought to you by your favorite dynamic duo.
Here to bless us with their precious insight is our team of intelligent, creative, and stunning Blaxperts.
Blaxperts, show us some love.
Perfection is a myth. It's okay to allow myself to be sad or get angry or to cry, to show emotion, period. And it's healthy.
Loving all the parts of oneself, even the things that are really hard to see, to look at, to accept about oneself.
Cognac, chestnut, like chocolat au lait. Are you okay? Did you see, do I need to say more? Do I actually have to use words to describe the beauty? I mean, everybody's beautiful, but.
Self-love is the choice I make in every single moment to be my very own best friend. And you know who's my #1 bestie?
Yes, me.
Of course, girl. But there's also my body. My body is always here for me.
Right? Your body loves you. Adorning your body is a must. Miss Lady Andy got us into waist beads and we're obsessed, honey. Yes.
I discovered waist beads. I was just enchanted by them. And then I made them for myself randomly and a bunch of friends. And I got to witness how we all just started to fall in love with our bodies and fall in love with putting them on and treating ourselves like an actual altar.
The way they rest on my body makes me want to drop that ta-da-da.
Hey!
So the story behind Body Confidence Canada is very much my story and my partner Aisha's story. We co-founded Body Confidence Canada because both myself and Aisha had been discriminated against in public spaces. So really the work of Body Confidence Canada, it's always been about uplifting and amplifying people's bodies, people's voices, people's lived experiences. There may be parts of our body that aren't exactly how we might wish them to be or how society might wish them to be, but they are still there. They're ours. And they're taking us through the world. So we have to respect them and revere them and honor them and be willing to stand proud.
Remember that whatever goals you have or dreams you aspire to, this is the only body that's gonna get you there.
So you better put some respect on it. Rest is our birthright.
We're talking resting to rest, not resting to be even more productive. Reclaiming your time is essential.
Essential, fulfilling, and so damn right.
I spend time lying on my floor in my music room that has my drums and my stereo. Or I take a wonderful long hot bath, and my favorite music choice for my bath is Sade.
I was raised by a Black single mother who worked very hard, who instilled certain values in me. And one of those values was to work hard, to learn hard, to give hard. When I take time for myself, that is self-love. You know, that is care, because it's really hard to do when you've been conditioned to have to work so hard to just sort of break even with quote unquote mainstream.
See, I was never on Team No Sleep, but my motto used to be, everything you can do, I can do bleeding. Well, I'm here to tell you that that is some caca. My energy shifts depending on the day, and loving myself is also about flowing with that. I say it all the time, and I'll say it again right here. As a culture, we don't talk about friend splits enough.
friend splits. I like that.
Thank you. I think the reason why friend splits are so painful is because we don't expect them to happen.
Facts.
Right? So how do you know when a friend's gotta go?
I think a great place to start is asking myself, am I tiptoeing around my joy with this person? Do I constantly find myself editing out the wins from our conversations? If so, that's a red flag right there.
That's good.
Another red flag is when you find that your energy's depleted after hanging out with them.
When they steady serving backhanded compliments.
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm a huge cat fanatic. And when one of my beloved felines died, I had a friend who thought I was grieving a little too long. And she said to me, well, it's just a cat. That was an indicator that she didn't really capture who I was. And it was okay for me to end that friendship.
Before saying goodbye to a friend for good, I always try asking for what I need by setting boundaries. The beauty in that is I'm giving them the opportunity to show up. What I'm really telling them is I trust and believe that you care enough to see me, and I value this relationship enough to ask.
That's hard for me because I'm like my mom, very accommodating, sometimes to the detriment of myself. I think coming to that place of understanding that this is just not good for me anymore has been a really important moment. And I remember when I've had to do that, thinking that this was going to be it. This was going to be the end of the friendship. And it dropped off for a time, but those relationships are my strongest now.
I've said enough yeses. Now, I'm not afraid to say no.
No, 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 no.
No.
A few years ago, I was in a very toxic friendship. When I finally worked up the courage to put an end to it, I had to question the reasons why I chose to stay friends with this person in the first place. And what I realized is that it had been much easier for me to blame them than to look at all the ways I was letting myself down. Once the person was out of the picture, I had to take responsibility for my life and my choices.
Girl, that is a rude but necessary awakening. Now watch how quickly your life shifts for the better now that you cut off the dead weight.
That's right, you start flying. That's what happened to me. I mean, look at me.
I mean, look at her. Donc, il faut couper, il faut décaler.
Il faut couper, couper, décaler. Il faut couper, couper, décaler. Il faut décaler. Il faut décaler.
Il faut couper, couper, décaler. Tu vas couper, non? Décaler. Il faut couper, couper, décaler. A lot of folks like to say that Black people don't get depressed. Well, guess what? I'm Black and I fell into a deep depression. I was juggling way too many projects, trying to stay the strong Black woman, the excellent Negro. I was doing the most for everyone, but when it came to me, I kept telling myself, girl, we're gonna rest, but like a bit later. And later got further and further away until boom, Rona. And while the whole world fell apart, my depression went off like an alarm system.
I was doing pretty well in corporate. I was working with actuaries. Things were coming together in my life. I was like, yeah, look at me. You know, I'm on my way to up the ladder. And I go to the bathroom and I would cry. And I didn't understand why. I'd literally run out of a meeting to go sit in the bathroom stall and weep. Eventually I had a breakdown at work. That was one of those weeping attacks that just wouldn't stop. And when I finally got enough of my mental, reserves and my physical reserves back, I asked myself, what was it that I liked doing when I was a child and what was I good at? And I identified those things and I just kept doing them.
The gift of my depression is that it forced me to be more compassionate and more aware of my limits. Therapy was also extremely helpful. And on that note, there is still a lot of stigma in the Black community when it comes to seeking mental health support. So shout out to Canadian wellness activist Kiosha Love for opening up that conversation with her series Black and Vulnerable.
One day I was asked to actually angel at a gathering. They were like, you have really good energy. People feel really safe when you're in the room. I was like, okay. And that's where it took off from there. We need to remember that it's safe to love and that is what we are. And to say it over and over again, and remind people constantly. That's what I do. That's what a professional angel does. To show up as love as divine love any way we can.
Being depressed was hard and it was scary. And if you're going through that right now, I feel you. I remember thinking, wow, I feel awful and this is how it's gonna be for the rest of my life. But I got out of it. And so can you.
Damn straight we deserve to feel good. And sometimes that means letting go of our most beloved vices. See, I love me some champagne. But back in 2020, with so much happening in the world and my anxiety through the roof, I found myself drinking way more than usual. And let's just say the hangovers were not cute. So I decided to take an extended break from drinking alcohol. And at first, it felt like I was punishing myself. I was like, wait, I have to actually sit with my feelings? But now, I'm grateful for the growing pains. I realized that quitting booze is one of the most self-loving decisions I've ever made. I gave myself the gift of clarity, better sleep, more energy, and glowing skin.
Yes, girl, and more money in the bank, know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so proud and inspired by you. Now, self-improvement is important, but don't get it twisted. I need to have fun to feel good, know what I mean? It can't be all work and no play.
Right now, my biggest thing is my bike. I love my bike, and riding my bike is an act of self-love. Not riding to get anywhere, but just riding for the pleasure of riding. And my bike is an electric hybrid bike, so it feels like flying sometimes.
Aw, I love that. Self-love is in the little things, like leaving a glass of water by my bedside, knowing damn well I'm gonna wake up thirsty in the morning, or doing a puzzle, or going for a walk in nature,
or breaking into song.
I got money in the bank, I can pack up and leave. No turning back, 8 hours a night. Gotta get my sleep, cause I got it like that. I'ma smoke my weed, I'ma read my book, I'ma take my time, I'ma eat whatever I want,
Eat whatever I want,
whoever I want.
whoever I want.
As we move through the world in our beautiful black bodies, people try to come for us day in and day out.
Part of the reason why we can stand here confident, shining, is because we celebrate ourselves every step of the way. You need to hype yourself up.
Brag, bitch!
Bragging in 3 simple steps. 1, select person to brag with. Get a very good friend to start it. Protect your energy. 2, say, I brag. Yes. It feels good, right? Yes. Step 3, say something about yourself. Speak well onto yourself.
I brag that when I need to remind myself of how capable I am, I just take a look at my resume.
Ooh, girl, well, brag. I brag that I'm a multi-talented, beautiful black woman, and everything I touch turns to gold.
Well brag, girl.
I brag that in spite of anti-Black racism, misogynoir, fat phobia, I was able to graduate with my PhD. I brag.
Yes, well bragged, Sister Goddess. Well bragged.
I brag that I am able to bring out the best in the people that I work with.
Well bragged.
I brag that more and more I feel like I'm in the right place at the right time. For example, I'm here right now doing this. This is amazing.
Yes, bragging is an art.
It's about recognizing your holiness and celebrating how dope you are.
Acknowledging out loud that you
are that bitch.
Now give yourself a round of applause. And that's it, folks. If there was ever any doubt in your mind, now you know that self-love is lit.
Blaxperts, thank you for coming through with the gems every single time.
To you out there, stay blessed, stay fly.
And remember, you will fall off the wagon. It's all about how you bounce back, baby.
Thanks for tuning in, and make sure to check out the entire season of Real Blackity Talk.
Entendiendo el it ended.